y'all, welcome back. So today is Sunday, April 5th, and this past month has just been super crazy, what with the self-isolation, self-quarantining, and working from home at the moment until further notice, and it's just, everything's kind of up in the air. This past month has also just sucked. So as y'all know, like, I've been dealing with the grief of my grandma passing away in December. And unfortunately, in March, we had to put our dog down. She was 17 years old. So let me insert that video here. Today is Wednesday, March 11th. And unfortunately, it is the last day for my Sadie girl. She's 17, and she's just been steadily declining the past couple of weeks, that we had to make the very difficult decision to put her down. And she hasn't eaten in a week. She's just, it's unfortunately time. So I'm out in the backyard with her, and she is drinking from the hose tap because she won't drink water from her bowl anymore. And this is one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. But I just thought I would show you Sadie one last time. I have her on her leash because she just wanders and kind of gets stuck places. It's the only way that she can easily go anywhere. And as you can see, our side yard is quite muddy because all she's been wanting to drink is water from this tap. So as you can see, like, I don't know, just the last few months have just sucked for my family. The decision to put Sadie down was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in my entire life. Harder than deciding to move to New Hampshire or deciding to come back. She was my baby, and we do have her ashes back, and eventually I'm going to add to my grandma, like the tattoo that I have of my grandma's handwriting, I'm going to add Sadie's paw print because our vet's office did a paw print and a nose print. So I'm going to add that to me at some point. So I think that has made this self-quarantining a lot harder than I think it normally would be, because I don't have my dog anymore. I mean, this time is really scary and anxiety inducing for a lot of people, and for me, like, the anxiety that it's producing is more about, like, the uncertainty of my future with working in higher education. Like, this has seriously impacted how that's gonna work, and it's uncertainty for some of my friends' futures and family who work in retail. So it's just kind of a scary time, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm kind of sick of all the news stories about COVID because it seems like it's the only thing they're reporting on. Yes, it's stuff that we need to know, but it's like, I just feel like we're constantly being bombarded with news about this and about the number of people being infected and the number of deaths, and I don't know, like, for people who suffer from anxiety and depression, I think it makes it worse. And I also think, like, this is a traumatic time, so this could produce some PTSD like symptoms in people. Anyway, that was kind of a tangent. But my mom and I did go out and buy bicycles so that we would have something to do to help us get out of the house and exercise without actually like going out in public, because we have a trail that's really close to our house that's not a very popular one, so we are able to ride around our neighborhood because we kind of live out in, it's not like the country, but it feels like it is. There's not a ton of traffic here. So we were able to do that most of the time. The weather has been warming up, which is really nice because we've been able to go on walks and sit outside during the day so that at least we're not stuck in the same four walls. But there's only so much exercise that you can do. We were going on like 2 walks a day, like one in the morning and one in the evening or late afternoon. And then it just started raining like crazy, so we haven't really been able to get out and even do that. So with all that being said, let me show you my body update for this past month of trying to focus on myself and my body and getting fit and exercise. So let me show you that. I'll insert my measurements. And yeah, so here's that. All right, y'all, so here is body update. And I'll insert my measurements here. So you can see where we're at after a month of this. So, as far as the measurements that I've shown you, I lost 3 inches, one from my bust, my waist, and my hips. But overall, I've lost, I think it was 9.5 inches. So I lost an inch from every place that I took measurements, which includes my arms, my thighs, my calves, and all of that. But I'm only showing you the most common. The body fat percentage has pretty much stayed the same, which is interesting to me because of the fact that like my measurements have gone down. But again, like I don't know how accurate my home scale is with that. I can say that the scale, as far as numbers go, for my weight really hasn't moved that much. This is not an excuse by any means. I do have polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I know like people are probably going to say like all overweight girls say that they have that. I actually do. My doctor diagnosed me with it officially a couple of summers ago, but it had been suspected that I had it for a long time due to various reasons. So that does in fact make it much more difficult to lose weight, which sucks because that's the one thing, like the one type of treatment that would help the symptoms of polycystic ovarian syndrome. So it's kind of like your body fights against itself. It's like 2 steps forward, 10 steps back as far as like the weight loss battle goes. Anyway, so the scale hasn't moved, but the measurements have, and I'm trying not to focus so much on a number on the scale because that, there's so many different variables. Like muscle, a pound of muscle weighs the same as a pound of fat. It just takes up less space. Yes, you heard me right. A pound of muscle weighs the same as a pound of fat because it's a pound. A pound weighs the same regardless. It's denser, so it takes up less space. Anyway, that's kind of what's been going on here. Just kind of trying to stay positive. I mean, I'm naturally a homebody, so like staying at home doesn't bother me that much. It's the being forced to stay at home and not being able to hang out with my friends. You all have seen, like, I like to go over to Deb's house and cook and watch movies, and I can't do that because, I mean, I just shouldn't be doing that. And, you know, I haven't seen my brother in a while and probably won't because he is still working. He works in retail, and even though the store that he works at, it's a local place, even though they've reduced their hours, significantly, and he is, you know, one of the managers, he still has to go in, which means that he can't come around our house because that would put our parents at risk. And then my sister-in-law is also still working a few days a week in her office, and she's an audiologist. So that's really sad because my dad and my brother's birthdays are coming up. They are a couple of days apart, and we won't get to spend their birthdays with them. I mean, I will with my dad, but my brother won't be able to see our dad for his birthday, and we won't be able to see my brother for his birthday. So it kind of sucks. Yeah, so I'm just using this time to focus on me and work on myself. So I've been, as far as diet goes, the first week I was home, let me tell you, it was like, oh, the kitchen's right there. There's so many snacks available. So the first few days, because my first week at home was a half week, and so those first couple of days were a lot of snacking. But I've been doing better. Like, I got into like a rhythm of things the following week. So this is now going on the third full week, but I've been working from home since March 18th or 19th, so 3.5 weeks, basically. And I love that part because I've been trying to work from home since I started my job in New Hampshire 4 years ago. You know, just use this time to focus on you and your family, and do the best you can to stay positive in a crappy situation. Anyway, so I'm just kind of rambling at this point, and this is becoming really long-winded and redundant. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'll try to do better this month about posting more videos, especially since I'm working from home. It'll be easier to record like what I eat in a day or my workouts or things like that. So, you know, stay strong, stay healthy. You know, we're all in the same boat. Until next time, give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe at the end. Bye.